In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission, to bring freedom to everyone involved.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm doing a thing for the podcast.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends Podcast.
Well, I mean, he was absent for a little while.
Has the producer team unfucked us? Are we live?
The producer team, who the fuck knows? But yeah, we're live now.
All right, we're live.
We have
All
a
right.
producer team?
We do. And you know what? I think it's safe to say now, we always fucking have. We always
The
have.
whole time.
The
Yeah.
whole time.
The whole time.
And it's never changed.
No.
No,
But what-
well, that's
but-
not true because we had Rob.
We had Rob
for a while.
Yeah.
And Rob basically fucked us.
If for
Rob
everybody,
left us to go do his own podcast that he never recorded.
Rob produced about as well as you ran.
Yeah, right.
And Rob doesn't run.
In circles.
the left side of the audio sounded great. It was the right side that was.
Oh, fuck boys.
Fuck boys.
So what has changed today?
What has changed? What has changed? Well, I'll tell you one thing that's changed. Another year has passed
Another year.
on the Freedom Friends podcast.
Yes.
Before we get to all that, though, shout out to our sponsors, warfightertobacco.com. 2 years of mediocrity.
Yes.
God damn it.
Did we pick a new code yet, boys?
No, we didn't.
We will by next
We've got
show.
a few, like,
Yeah,
We
we
do.
got some good ones by
We got
next
some
show.
good ones.
Scott and I were out of town for a week.
Yeah.
yeah.
We didn't really
So-
get a chance
I feel
to
like
go
it was
over.
yesterday for me.
So-
I know, right?
Brought to you by warfightertobacco.com. Use that code Freedom Friends. Probably not by the time this comes out. Score yourself a sweet 15% off. Tell you what, if you're listening to this and you're trying to use Freedom Friends, shoot us a message. We'll tell you the new code.
No,
If
it'll still work.
Yeah.
It'll still work.
It'll still work.
After this goes
Yeah.
live, it'll work for the day this goes live, and after that, it'll switch.
Okay.
It'll switch when the next one gets released.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll give it a
cool.
1 week overlap.
Yep.
All right. So
Yeah.
brought to you by warfightertobacco.com. Use that code Freedom Friends. Screw yourself that fucking sweet 15% off.
It moved.
That's my goal. That's my goal every time is to make your dick wiggle. Wellness.us for your CBD needs.
That's a low bar.
Right now,
And Dave lives with you, so I know he knows.
How smooth that came out of your mouth.
Use that code FreedomFriends25. Screw yourself a quarter off your order over there at wellness.us. And Johnson & Sons hay grinding. Make sure you call Mike. Just call him to say hi. It's 402-276-1111.
no,
Give him a buzz.
call him and tell him we're out of lighter fluid and we need some more. I know.
He was our fluid sponsor.
He's our fluid sponsor and we're out.
What the fuck, Mike? Jesus. So we are the Freedom Friends podcast. We're Sans and Jazz. We're plus a Dave, and we have a guest. We'll get to that in a second. We're Sans Jazz because he's down with the vid.
Yes.
He is
The
down with the
COVID.
sickness.
Which I do have to say, because I told him I'd say this, he does have that fancy new Delta variant.
Does he? Nice.
He doesn't know. I asked him. He's like, I
well,
don't know what it is.
I said that same thing, but I was like, it's not like they can prove you don't, so just say you do. So
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
he
true.
just claimed he has that fancy new Delta.
So I talked to him yesterday, and I told him that he needs to do a jazz style documentary of his experience with COVID.
Dude, I literally told him the same thing today. I was like, dude, vlog that shit.
I was like, you
Vlog
have
that
to.
shit. We'll make it a fucking Freedom Friends,
Yeah.
like exclusive.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
COVID with Jazz.
Yeah.
And have him fucking and do like a fucking 10-minute mini doc about his
He
experience.
needs to
It'd be
explain.
hilarious.
He
dude.
needs to explain COVID like he explained that drink way back in the beginning episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If a taste couldn't buy
Exactly.
the taste of freedom and bald eagles fucking on a hot day. Yeah. Fucking for real.
Yeah, he's like, everything smells like dirt.
That's
and
what he
all
said. He
my
said-
flavors are muted.
He said it just smells like fucking dust. Like
Yep,
when you're
it's dust.
sweeping and you get like dust in your mouth. He's like, that's what everything smells like. It's like, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
Did he tell y'all how he found out?
Yes.
No.
So Caitlin, his lovely wife, went and got him Taco Bell, and it was like some fancy
The fire sauce.
the fire sauce,
Yep.
yeah, that he put on, and he took 2 bites and just looked her in the eye and was like, "We have a fucking problem. Because I can't taste shit right now." And when you can't taste Taco Bell with fire sauce, yeah, you're probably done.
You probably got COVID.
Yeah, it's a safe bet.
Yeah. So you know so much about him because you are his brother
That's true.
and also the producer of this fucking shit show of a show.
Yes.
And it's been a while since we had you on
Yeah. It's been a
because it's time John is so excited.
Oh, I've been fucking chomping at the bit.
And we're
for
talking
2
for like
years.
a year and a half.
There's a lot of
man.
aspects to this show that we need to talk about.
Yes,
This-
there's
this
a
whole-
lot of aspects.
where do
We've
we
had
start?
a year to have all of the questions build up.
But it's been so long, I forgot about half of them.
That's true.
So we're gonna have to hear the story so I can think of a lot of the questions.
But the jokes are still fresh.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, they're gonna be good.
I was talking to Scott about this earlier because I brought it up. I was like, yeah, I could come on and talk about the story, and he was just like, oh yeah, my girlfriend was like, you're gonna tell that, and I was like, yeah, it's just gonna be the roast of Justin. I was like, and I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, essentially, and we can't wait either because we've been waiting for 2 fucking years. So essentially, to preface this, I was out of town when this happened.
wasn't he flying to meet you somewhere?
No, he was flying somewhere else. He was flying to Chicago with our
Chicago.
boss.
Yes.
Oh,
I was
that
in-
makes it even better.
I was
Oh,
in
yeah.
Florida. This was October of 2019.
Yes.
And I remember that because that was when I was going through jump school with RCPT.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah?
it was.
That was when my first time down there. So I'm in a fucking shitty hotel room in Palaca, Florida.
Oh, it's a beautiful place.
Okay. I wasn't at the hotel we stayed at. I was at the one next door.
I never stayed at a hotel.
That's right. You got an Airbnb.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know the hotel that Donnie stayed at,
Yeah.
the Holiday Inn, where we went to the pool.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the shitty one next door at this particular junction, and so I get a call from Reese.
Really?
I get a text from Reese, and it's a picture
wow.
of him holding a sign,
Oh,
and the sign
yep.
says "Justice for Justin."
Yep.
And I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" There's no context to it.
Yep.
And I'm like, "What the fuck, dude?" And as soon as I sent that, "What the fuck, dude," I get a fucking call. I get a missed call from John.
Do you still have that voicemail?
I think I do.
You fucking better.
I think
Fuck, I
do.
hope you do.
As soon as you started saying that, my
I don't know if
fucking-
I do because this is when I was rocking fucking Android.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me see if it's on here.
If only you would
Please.
fucking listen to us and switched before then,
right?
we would have a lovely voice.
You were
from
such a
John.
piece of shit back then. Back in the Android days.
Right.
Man.
Let's see here.
It should be the only voicemail that you have for me.
Yeah, I definitely do. My oldest voicemail is from 2020.
So I know Mikey's in Florida going through jump school right now.
Yeah.
And I know everything that just happened with Justin. And we haven't even said what happened with Justin, but I'll preface it with a phone call. I call Mikey. The only thing I say is, Mikey, it's John. You need to call me. Justin's in jail. And I hung up the phone. And that was it.
And so I get this text message from Reese with a picture of him holding a sign that says "Justice for Justin," and I get a fucking voicemail from John that says like "Justin's in jail. Call me." And I'm like, "What in the fuck is happening right now?"
And this is like what, a couple weeks after you almost killed him?
Yeah,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
actually I never even thought about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I should have claimed that in like the case, but like one of my buddies tried to kill me. I wasn't in the right state of mind.
So I call Jazz, and I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And he's like, "All right, let me explain it." And he explains me the story and tells me what happened. And I'm like, "What a fucking idiot!"
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
Oh yeah.
and then I made a sign and took a picture myself.
Yep.
Yep. I made a
And-
sign, took a picture. Hashtag
man.
justice for Justin.
Yep.
So let's hear what actually happened.
All right. So no shit. There I was.
There he was.
So I was about probably 2 or 3 months into my brand new job. My first like big boy job, salary gig, super hyped, extremely nervous. And in that first 2 or 3 months, the company's celebrating 10-year anniversary. So I'm like, okay, cool. I get the notification. Hey, we're flying you down to Chicago. Some of our OG employees, we're going to have them be part of this 10-year celebration going back and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all right, cool. I never really traveled like at all other than like for the army. So it's basically just like, hey, just get on this plane and you're going to go wherever the fuck you're going to go. So I'm flying with our COO, but I get there way early.
Or
What's
the
that?
CSO.
Yeah,
Because who's been on the show? Tim.
Yes, Tim.
Yeah.
Mr. Tim Jensen. I'm supposed to be traveling with him. We're on the same flight, but I get there extremely early because I'm extremely nervous. I have to check one bag, and then I've got 2 more bags that I'm carrying on with me and everything. I'm like going over in my head like what I'm going to be shooting because it's all video stuff. So I'm going over that in my head. going
Video
yes.
stuff.
Because you
Video
weren't a
stuff.
photographer at this point.
No, I was not a photographer.
He was only shooting videos.
Shooting video
Video.
stuff.
And so I'm going over in my head and everything, like what I gotta get and all my gear and stuff like that. And so finally I get my shit checked. I go smoke a cigarette, try to calm down, and I get in line at security. I'm standing there in security, drop all my shit, go through the metal detector thing, and all of a sudden the line stops, and I'm like, who the fuck left their shampoo in their bag or something like that? And I'm standing there.
Only it was that.
Oh fuck yeah, I fucking wish. And I'm standing there, and the TSA dude just goes, "Who's got the green bag?" And I was like, "Oh, I ain't got a green bag. That's mine." And he goes, "Can I have you step to the side real quick?" And I'm like, "It's probably my batteries or the lenses. Those will get caught every now and then when you're going through security." And he like pulls me off to the side, and I'm kind of standing there, and he doesn't really say anything. And I was just like, "Is it like any of my camera stuff?" And he just goes, "No, you got a gun in your bag." And I was just like, I got a fucking gun in my bag. Like, it was one of those, like, the fuck are you talking? Oh, you are 100% correct. Oh my God. So I had taken my everyday carry bag with me for like my clothes and headphones and shit like that. Now my everyday carry bag had my pistol in it. And because I was so nervous, when I got home, I started stuffing gear into it, hard drives and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm trying to go through fucking security with a pistol. And so they pull me off to the side, and the cop comes up and instantly handcuffs on. Like, as soon as the cop got there, it was like one hand on my shoulder. He was like, "Go ahead and turn around, put your hands behind your back." And I was like, oh, fuck. And so I'm standing there handcuffed, and it was like, and so then he puts
you should have said, "I know my rights."
Yeah, I should have immediately pulled out my phone, called the cop racist, and
said, "You know your rights."
Exactly. No, so he puts his gloves on, he goes through my bag, and I'm like, I fucked up. Like, this is no one's fault but my own. And so I tell him, I'm like, "Officer, the pistol is in the large pouch under a pair of headphones in a white box that has a hard drive in it. Underneath that is my pistol." Because I remember like where it stayed and everything. And he's like, fucking pulls out my headphones, pulls out the hard drive, pulls out a fucking pistol. And I'm like, oh God, this is going to be a long day.
And it was unloaded, of course.
Incorrect. Nope.
Condition
Definitely
3, condition 1.
Condition 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So magazine inserted. All right.
Yeah. Which I was one of those where I was just like, I mean, yeah, how else do you fucking carry a pistol?
If you're going to do something, you might as well do it right.
You're goddamn right. Full sends all day.
What is that? What is that in the Army? Condition 3. That's
just one of the pipe.
It's still in the arms room.
like. So there's one in the pipe. That's condition 1 for us. Is that red for you guys?
I don't fucking know.
Red is one in the pipe. I
never used.
I don't know that we
used
ever
to-
called it.
No.
You guys do
Yeah.
colors though, right?
No, we
I don't
never
fucking know.
No, I don't.
No.
Well, that's like when you're calling up like a fucking ace report or whatever, where it's like we're black on ammo or whatever.
See, never mind. I'm not.
Oh.
Maybe
Alright.
I don't know.
Here
We
nor
went
there.
through peacetime pre-war army to
So-
fucking balls to the wall invasion of Iraq, and it was like fucking lock and load, boys.
Yeah.
And that was it. And clear your fucking shit before you go into secured area.
Yeah.
Make sure you're fucking one in the chamber when you go out.
I suppose the sign at the gate said condition whatever. I don't know.
I never looked.
I don't know
fucking-
if we ever
I don't know.
Anyway, so your shit was
Oh,
fucking.
yeah.
You were
So,
you were
One in
ready
the
to go.
pipe, yeah. One in the pipe, full magazine and everything. And so I shit you not, I asked the fucking TSA dude, and I looked him dead in the eye and was like, "Do you think I'm still gonna be able to make my flight?" And the dude looked at me and was like, "I don't know." And so that happens. They put it back in the bag, zip it up, and then they grab me and my bags, my 2 bags, and they walk me to what I didn't know. The airport has a jail cell.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
just a 1-person little jail cell. Did not know that. They fucking put me in there, pull my shoes off. I had a hoodie on. They made me take the hoodie off, and I'm sitting there, and the guards or the cops are fucking talking to me, getting my information and everything, and they run the serial number of the pistol.
Here's where it gets fun.
I feel like Billy Mays right now. But wait, there's more.
There's definitely more. Turns out this pistol was stolen that I had bought from a buddy of mine. And yeah, that was a fucking kick in the nuts, because that was one of those like, all right, this is a bad situation, but hopefully it'll all get figured out. And then that happened, and I was like, no, no, this is not getting figured out.
No,
That-
I'm fucked.
Yep.
That is the definition of a buddy fucker.
Oh yeah.
When I get the phone call of all this happened, and I hear that Justin's arrested because he got a gun in TSA, and then I hear that it was a stolen gun, my first question wasn't, is he okay? Is he going to get out or anything like that? Was, what pistol did he have on him?
Yeah.
Because
he
like
had
a
just
week
bought one.
prior,
Yeah.
he bought a gun from me.
Yep.
And that gun came direct from a distributor
Yeah.
through me
Yeah.
to Justin.
Yeah. He would only gotten half the trouble if he'd had your gun with him.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's true. No, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that was it. And I'm like,
It's funny though. I would have gotten that fucking phone call.
right?
They would have done the background check
Reverse
on it.
trace.
I would have got the fucking phone call and been like, "Oh, I sold it to Justin. What the fuck?"
no. John does not sell stolen guns to his friends. He only sells them to bad people.
That'd be a
But
good joke, though.
That'd be funny.
that's true. Yeah.
So,
Uh,
stolen gun,
the stolen gun. So
which is news to you at this point.
very, very new news to me.
Yeah.
Which, so that happens. Obviously, I'm sitting there like, I'm big time fucked here. But what's crazy is they called the dude who had originally owned it and had
Yeah.
it stolen, like while I'm sitting in the cell. And they like,
That's quick.
they like ran him through the whole thing. They were like, yeah, some dude came through TSA and had it in his bag, and we found it after we ran the numbers. And I was like, wow, I sound like a total piece of shit right now.
I'd have been like, hey, dude, can you just at least tell the guy that it wasn't me?
They're like, I'm not the one who stole it, I promise. But so that happens. Eventually, I get transferred downtown, go through processing, which holy fuck was that a ride?
Oh, you mean the 135 pound white kid
I was about-
isn't having a
I
good
was
time
about
in
to be like-
Process City County?
For any of our audio listeners, I am built like Hillary Duff. So,
I think Hillary Duff got some weight on you, bro.
Yeah.
Hillary Duff is
Yeah.
thicker than
Dude,
you, son.
Jesus, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hillary Duff's got an ass.
Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
That's,
You're built more like Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
that's-
Maybe a little,
that's
like a
very-
tall Ariana.
Yeah, I'm like a tall Ariana Grande.
There you go.
So I'm just sitting in here and I'm like, fuck me. And so my first red flag was we get in the van to like head downtown, and like I get in, another beefier ginger dude gets in, a couple of black guys get in, and then this small Mexican dude gets in with a paint suit on. Like an all white paint suit on. And I'm just like, what in the fuck is your story? And so we're all just sitting there, we're all quiet, and fucking the dude in the painter suits just starts chattering about, just like looking out the window, just chattering. And I'm like, oh fucking Christ.
Did you feel like at this point you needed to establish dominance?
I will say this dude was built like me, only like 4 inches shorter and probably another 15 pounds off. So I was like, all right, you may be psycho, but I might have a chance. Like, so we finally get there, and fucking we get distributed into the cells, and they put me with the fucking dude with the paint suit, and I'm like,
Well, here's
Oh,
the thing, dude. You don't fuck crazy and you don't fight crazy. All right. Like it's
I mean, but what about when crazy tries to fight you?
you can defend,
No holds barred.
but you better go straight for the jugular, bro. Or
That was the plan.
yeah.
Turns out that dude and 2 other guys had beaten some kid half to death, and they all got put in these paint suits because their shit was covered in blood. And the second I found out about that, I was just like, I'm really glad y'all locked me in here with the fucking psychopath. Thanks guys. Like, so I'm sitting, I was in like the holding for like, probably 10 hours or so. Finally go see the magistrate.
I've seen central booking too. That shit sucks.
Yeah, it was very cold. Like, it was the stereotypical.
Does it smell
shit.
great?
It smells like vomit.
Yeah, it smells like feet and vomit.
Yeah.
That's central booking for you in San Antonio.
Fucking
Yeah.
awesome. While I was there, I called my dad. I'm like,
To clarify, I went there on a tour when I was in college. all right? I'm not a fucking
Sure.
felon like this one.
yeah, fucking
buddy.
felons. Those guys are the worst. So during all of this happening, Jazz gets a call from Tim, who, oh, I forgot to tell this part. The whole time I was at the airport, while in front of TSA, all that could go through my mind was, my boss is about to walk through security and I'm in handcuffs.
Which would have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I was like, oh, fuck me. And so during all of this happening, until I can get my phone call, my brother is driving all across San Antonio because Tim gets to the airport, is sitting at the gate. It's like 5 minutes till we board. And he calls Jazz and he's like, hey, is your brother coming? And he's like, the fuck do you mean? And he's like, I'm sitting at the gate and he's not here. And so Jazz, being my brother, instantly goes to like worst case scenario.
Yeah.
He's just like, he's dead on the ditch somewhere. So let's get in the car.
Or he fell asleep in his truck in the garage.
Fucking worst case scenario. So they go to the garage. First they go to my apartment and my truck's not there. So like, all right, he left. So is he in a ditch somewhere? They drive the route from my apartment to the airport. No truck's in the ditch. And then they get to the airport and they're like, all right, his truck's here. And then Jazz is like sitting there in the car with Caitlin and he's just like, what the fuck? This motherfucker keeps his gun in his backpack. And like instantly just.
And only Jazz would have put that together,
right?
dude. Like only Jazz would have been like,
he was
got
just
it.
like, he leaves his gun in his backpack and he went through security with his gun. He didn't know that it was stolen, obviously.
Well, yeah.
But
So would you have gotten brought to downtown if the gun wasn't stolen?
I have no fucking clue, honestly.
Okay.
I know that none of this would have happened if this is the biggest sales pitch to get your fucking CHL I've ever heard of. So after all this has happened, I have multiple people that I know that have done this exact thing, but they have their CHL. And all they do is like escort you out of the airport and you go put it in your car and then they run you right back through security.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
So if there is any selling point for a CHL,
Or if you're Bill Markham.
Bill's just such a fucking good dude. There's like,
So about 3 weeks after this,
Yeah.
it happened to Bill.
Oh,
And he still made his flight.
that's awesome.
That was also Florida, though. So,
Yeah.
must
you
be
know.
fucking nice.
Yeah.
But
But it is nice to be Bill Markham,
100%.
right?
That wouldn't suck.
Right?
I mean, he yells, "I love my job" while he jumps out of planes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
fair indicator.
Yeah.
But so all that happens. I get my phone call. I talk to my dad and give him the lowdown. He's like, "Yep, fucking figured. All right, I'll call you. Or call me in 30 minutes and I'll give you an update." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I'm sitting there, and one thing I noted, I was like, it gave me a little bit of sympathy for anybody who goes through there. Is it took me 3 hours to get a roll of toilet paper. Like, or not even a roll, just like a little, like, stick it on your hand, roll it around. Here's enough shit paper for you to wipe your ass. Took me 3 hours. And I was just like, oh, I totally get why people fuck. Like, don't get me wrong, most people are shitbags, but when it's like, you're not a shitbag and something happened, yeah, fuck that place. Like, so that finally.
There's a reason jail is a deterrent. You know,
That's-
Yeah, it's not supposed to be vacation.
People don't want to go
absolutely.
there.
Absolutely. Fucking works. So I finally see the magistrate and go through that whole thing. And then they transfer me to another, I guess, like the actual jail. I had no fucking clue.
Did you get your orange jumpsuit?
No, I was really fucking scared of that though. But they transfer me downtown. They do the whole strip search. You got to spread my cheeks so some dude can look at my butthole.
It's like MEPS all over again.
100%. I was just like, I really wanted to turn around and be like, not my first time. Because
He would have taken that an entirely different way.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, your experience. Let me check more.
Yeah.
Little-
If you're checking my prostate, why are both hands on my shoulders?
and that's my dick.
We go through that whole thing, and then I get my fingerprints and all that shit. And so finally, I know I'm like, all right, this is kind of like the end stop. I know my bond's getting posted. I just got to wait until they fucking call my name. So I'm sitting there eating a fucking shitty sandwich, watching basketball on TV. And fucking one of the security guards comes walking in front of me. And I'm fucking bundled up, like, because it's cold as fuck. And I'm scrawny as shit. And I'm just watching fucking basketball. And I'm just fucking hating life. And some security guard walks over to me and he goes, "Hey, man, I heard you were in the Army." And I was like, "Who the fuck do you hear that from?" And he was like, "Well, I saw on your paperwork." And I was like, "Yeah?" And he goes, "Are you active?" And I was like, "No, I'm National Guard." And he goes, 143rd? And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "What company?" I was like, "What company are you?" And he goes, you don't need to know that. I was like, right back at you. I was like, what the fuck? And so turns out I remember I fucking remembered his name tag. It was, I can't remember now. But I remember my next drill when I fucking like went out of it. I was like, I feel like I recognized him in ACO, and one of my buddies was in ACO. So I go over to our ACO building and I'm just fucking scanning around, and sure as shit, I see him. He looks at me. Luckily, I had caught my 5 at this point and he was an E4. And I was just like, I will fucking put your dick in the dirt if you open your mouth. I just want you to know that. I don't give a fuck. And he just was like, all right. And we just had this understanding. I was like, that we were not in fucking uniforms. You can keep your fucking mouth shut. And so that was fucking interesting.
You pulled rank on your hack.
100%. 100%.
That's fucking funny, dude.
And so through this whole process, I get out and I start taking care of like what I have to after this point.
Yeah, community service.
All that shit. Yep.
Yeah.
But I never tell my chain of command. Because I was just like, I feel like I can get away with this.
Yeah.
And so, like, after like 3 months, I was like, surely they're going to find out. And I'm going to fucking get called into the company office and they're going to fucking do whatever.
Yeah.
Never hear anything. Like, I got most of my shit done. And I went to the office and I was ETSing. So I was like giving all my gear back and everything. I get there and the AGR dude was like off in a meeting or something when I got there. But I had tacos and I'm sitting there. And one of our readiness NCOs was sitting there and I grabbed him some tacos on the way in, and he goes to open up his taco and he's like, so what's this about you taking a gun through the airport? And he just kicks his feet up on the desk, and I was just like, you don't need to worry about that. He was just like, oh, I know. Like, I'm not going to do extra paperwork on the dude who's getting out.
Yeah.
And I was just like, there's a little misunderstanding. And he was just like, fair enough. But I was just like, I think is what I was most surprised at, is throughout my last like 9 months in the military, it never got back to my chain of command, but I was just,
Because you're not active, man. Like fucking
Active, they would have known within fucking 2 hours.
Oh, dude, there's somebody at the jail that calls the fucking base and was
Right.
like, hey, we got another one. Here's his numbers. Like,
well, we had dudes that always got, like, whenever they get a DUI, the company was always notified and shit.
Yeah.
so
And I had a felony,
I
so
know that, I don't know how the blotter works here in Texas. I know that they fucking like to embarrass people who get DUIs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like they put their picture in the fucking on their Facebook page and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know that because my buddy fucking Beatles got fucking pinched one night when we were out drinking, and I was like, he didn't make it to the second bar. Where the fuck is this guy? He got pinched in the way, and I was like, oh shit. But I'm assuming that's probably how they caught that. How they catch the fucking the dooskies.
There's just one guy who's constantly scrolling like the fucking
Yeah. It's
Facebook pages.
I know that-
fucking colonel.
I know that like active duty though, that shit hits the
The
blotter
colonel's wife.
and fucking it's like game on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're fucked.
Yeah. So
So explain to everybody that's listening why we couldn't talk about it.
So going through the whole process, it was one of those like, it was pretty well taken care of, but it was best just not to fuck.
Because you had to get a lawyer and
I had to get a lawyer. I got lucky and got what's called pretrial diversion. So as long
And
as
COVID couldn't have come at a better fucking time for you.
fucking COVID was my best friend for this shit. So I didn't have to go in person or anything. All I had to do was fucking email my pretrial officer like every 3 weeks to a month and be like, hey, no updates, no major change. I emailed her when I bought my house just to be like, hey, here's my new address.
Look, I'm a
And-
productive member of society.
Exactly. Like it was like
No more guns in the airports for me.
I've told Mikey numerous times every time we go to the airport, I want to steal one of those signs that says no guns beyond this point.
Every time I go to the airport, I
send
take a
it-
picture,
Me
send
too.
it to him.
Yeah, I do too. All the time. Every time. So we would travel together pretty often.
Yes.
And like he would always have to like, I'd be like, all right, Justin, we're leaving fucking Friday the fucking 10th or whatever the fuck. He'd be like, all right, I gotta call my PO. You know, like keep update his PO every time. There was a stretch there where you and I traveled
Oh yeah.
fucking like 2-3 times a month
Yeah.
for like 3 months.
Yeah.
And it was like like all the time, and you were just always like, "Fuck, I gotta call this bitch again."
Well, what's funny is like she tried giving me shit one time because like I had something pop up. It was like within 4 days. It was like, hey, we need you to go here. I was like, all right, let me email my PO and make sure I'm good to go. And I emailed her, and she was like, well, it's pretty last minute. I was like, well, it's my job. Like,
Yeah.
no, I get it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I get why I'm in the situation, but this is also how I continue having an income. Is like this is part of my job. And she was just like, oh, I thought this was just for fun. I was like, nope, definitely for work. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Do you think
if I was a
I know
felon
that-
and I traveled this much for fun, I'd have a way better lawyer.
I was like, come on now.
I know that
let's-
most of the felons you work with, sweetheart, probably don't travel this
Yeah.
much. Probably don't have salaried positions. Fuck.
Yeah. But yeah.
So, and then for our listeners' sake, explain the stolen gun aspect of it,
Yeah.
So
just so they don't all think you're a complete
no.
shitbag.
So I had a buddy that
Only a half shit.
complete?
half
Yeah,
shitbag.
I said
Half
complete.
shitbag.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who had an M&P shield, which, fun fact, that was my second M&P shield. The first one I actually had stolen from me, from my car.
Karma, motherfucker.
Yeah, pretty much.
It would have been. Dude, it would have been fucking
Oh, yeah.
great. If
If
that
that-
M&P shield
dude,
that you got stolen
was
would have
your
been the one
own.
that got sold back
That
to
is
you.
exact because I was like, wait a minute, what if that's the one that got stolen, and now it's like my own stolen pistol? So maybe this whole thing can be rearranged. And they were just like, and then they called the dude. I was like, fuck. But
Fuck, my phone didn't ring.
Shoots these skulls.
yeah, I had a pistol. Bought it off him. Didn't do the right paperwork like a dumbass. Didn't fucking run serial numbers or anything like
Which
that.
you're
Like
not
a dumbass.
required to.
Yep.
And there's no really easy
Dude,
way
I
to do
recently-
that without.
I recently bought a gun, and now I'm listening to this story. I'm like, fuck, maybe I should get this
Well,
fucking
there-
thing checked.
There's no
Yeah.
there's no national database where you
It's
can
not.
check.
Yeah.
Like literally, you can go into the police station and be like, "Hey, can you tell me if this is stolen or not?"
And then
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, you're still not going to get it back, even if it's yours.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, wow.
nobody walks into a police station with a gun and says, "Hey, is this stolen?"
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
If
why
you
I
go-
would
and then
come in
if
with
it
a
is-
serial number and be like, can you run this serial number, please?
But no, even then, most of the time they're just going to be like, "No." Like, why?
Yeah.
Was he using a crime?
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah,
Is it
that's
on
the
your
only that's the only time that they really fucking find
That's
out.
it,
Yeah. That's what I think. That's a big misconception
Like no gun
with
store.
like
No gun is registered to a single
Yeah.
person.
it's only when it's committed when it's used in a crime is that
Then they
fucking-
can reverse change.
Yeah, they do a
reverse
back trace.
yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah.
so they start with the manufacturer and they work down the fucking chain of where it all went to. That's the only thing that paperwork you fill out in a gun store. That's all it's used for.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yep.
which
But,
means they must have worked that one fast.
Yeah. It was
No, well,
literally right.
I guarantee you they called the ATF to run that number and they came back like, hey, that gun's stolen.
Yeah.
Oh, by
Yeah.
the way, this is who it's stolen from.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so that's because it's already flagged.
Yeah.
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 I wonder if we can call. I wonder if I can call the ATF to check serial numbers.
No.
No, they won't.
No.
Mikey, I feel like you're doing a lot of extra work just to find out that like.
Mike, you should probably just sell that to somebody else. What
not
gun
me,
is it?
Not me, but
That's that new Glock I got.
Oh, I thought you meant the scar. I was like,
Oh,
No,
I know.
no.
I
I'll
was
go
like,
ahead and keep that.
a stolen scar? No, that's not worth much of anything.
no, I'll give you like $500 for that thing.
Yeah, right. You better add a 0 to that.
but yeah, that's just didn't do the right paperwork and shit, and so fucking
So this is what, a year and a half ago?
almost 2 years.
Yeah,
Almost 2 years.
it'll be,
2 years,
it'll
yeah.
be 2 years next month.
Yep.
Yeah.
So why couldn't we talk about it until now?
So because of COVID, all of the courts shit
Right.
got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And so finally it took almost a year just for me to have like my court date and like go through the final, like what I was being charged
Right.
with and everything. And then after that, I started my pretrial diversion, which was awesome that I got into that because I didn't have any, I had like a speeding ticket on my fucking record.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't a shitbag. I had gainful employment. I had good rental history. Like they were like, all right, you're
Yeah.
fucking good person. It's like, cool.
Yeah.
So they got,
I mean, shades of gray.
just as far as they know.
on paper.
On paper, yeah. To the legal system. Not anymore, but
That's
I got-
just a speed bump.
Can't win them all, dude.
For the
it's
moment.
true.
For the moment.
I got pretrial diversion, which meant after my 9 months, I can now get my shit expunged. So
I
now I'm at the
guarantee you,
stage
dude,
where
you're
I
not
can
the
get
only
it
one
expunged.
sent to this bar with a rap sheet. All right. I fucking
Wow.
guarantee that
Hey,
shit.
I don't have any felonies.
Allegedly.
I have no felonies.
I have no felonies.
I have no felonies. I'm fucking global entry,
Yeah.
bitch. What's up?
Yeah, I have no felonies.
I got a passport.
Dave, what's your rap sheet looking like?
No comment.
Yeah, it's like on the advice of counsel, I invoke my rights as my Fifth Amendment.
I was able to have NFA objects and have a concealed firearms permit.
So
I did
Can't have
notice.
felony
I
that.
did notice that you said that in past tense.
I was able.
Still got it.
Oh, okay.
I was
Yeah,
able.
I was like, shit.
That was the Nebraska permit.
Just
that
like
I,
you used to have a job, Dave. Like,
that was the Nebraska permit that I had to surrender when I left the state.
Yeah.
Keyword had.
Yeah. Well,
Still had the NFA stuff.
well, that just means that you did it the appropriate way, and you're like, I'm leaving the state. I know this is the rule. Here's
Oh, no. He
I-
still has it. It's just, it's not valid.
right.
Yeah. No, I attempt to be a reasonable member of society.
Yeah, same.
Attempt.
Yeah,
being the keyword.
like I said, it's hard sometimes. Shit.
I got a bunch
Tell
of
me about it.
speeding tickets and criminal speeding, and I was on the radar for a lot of shit, but
Yeah.
I didn't ever
On the radar for what?
shit.
Things.
So
John used to be in a organization that likes to drive motorcycles
We rode them
in a
but-
big city.
Yeah, this coming from the guy who hasn't ridden a motorcycle.
So the funny thing was, is I had a little file gang task force in Arizona, and but I have NFA items. I've passed 1 million background checks.
Sure.
I have global entry. I got a passport. Like,
yeah, bro, but you know how it is. The company that we keep.
You
know, it paints-
almost
it
did
paints a
not
picture.
get global.
I
entry,
almost
though.
didn't actually.
And that's a
that,
funny story.
That is a really funny story. That was for a bad check for $19.02 to Walmart in fucking 2002.
I was gonna say back when checks were
I
a
was gonna say,
thing.
who the fuck's writing checks, man?
So, and the funny thing was, is I switched
He was
my
writing
bank.
checks they couldn't cash.
I switched.
Zing.
I switched from a local bank outside Fort Campbell to USAA,
Uh-huh.
and it was the last check I wrote out of the bank, and I waited like a month, and I had nothing come out of it, so I fucking closed the bank account down and went full time, with my USAA bank account.
Yeah.
Well, the Walmart decided to cash a check at that point, and I was horrible at balancing my checkbook. I didn't fucking care.
Yeah, none of us ever did.
And so they went to cash a check for $19.02. $19.02.
1902. That was a good year, wasn't it?
Yeah, Scott was there. And obviously it bounced.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And I was living off base at the time, so my mail never fucking made it to me. And so next thing I know, because I updated my driver's license to the address I was living off base, I get this fucking copy, like literally out of a copy machine fucking warrant for my arrest. Yeah. I got an uncle that's high up in Massachusetts State Patrol. So I call him up and I'm like, hey, I need you to do a warrant search for me. He's like, local, federal? I was like, all of them. I'm like, because as I explained, the letter that I got. And he's like, well, what'd you do? I'm like, I don't remember doing a fucking thing. And it doesn't say what it's for. It just says, come down to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, turn yourself in.
You're active duty at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's like, let me run all the shit. I'll get back to you in fucking an hour. I'm like, cool. So he runs me through fucking everything, state, local, federal, fucking everything. He's like, bro, fuck, I got nothing on you. And I'm like, what should I do? I'm like, do you think it's just like a fucking joke or what? He's like, no, man. He's like, just go down there, turn yourself in, see what happens. And I'm like, what? And he's like, just fucking do it. Because if it's real, he's like, you want to take care of it. And I'm like, because he knows I'm active duty and shit. And I'm like,
Sure.
I'm like, fuck it. Okay, whatever. So I go down there and I'm like, hey, I got this fucking letter in the mail from you guys and I don't really know what to do. Can I see your ID? So I hand him my military ID and they fucking type it in the system and like, sir, can you please step over here? And I was like, what'd I do? He's like, can you step over there and we'll explain. And I'm like, great. Cop comes out from the fucking back, puts me in cuffs, brings me in. And I'm like, what in the fuck? So I get fingerprinted. They throw me in a fucking jail. So I sit there for like fucking 5 hours until my chain of command comes and gets me. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. So they give me a court date to go to fucking court over a check for $19.02. Yeah. And so we go to the fucking thing and the lawyer for fucking Walmart wants me to pay like, what's the fucking word? Restitution. They wanted me to pay like hundreds of dollars. Finally, my fucking company first sergeant was there, stands up and like, you don't do this in the courtroom, but he literally stands up. He's like, Judge, I'm going to come up there and talk with you. And he just fucking didn't even skip a
Hell
beat.
yeah.
And just walked right up there. And I'm like, I'm in class A's. And I'm like, I'm a brand new fucking private. I'm like,
You're
I'm
like,
so
I'm
fucked. I'm so
fucked.
fucked. I'm so fucked. And they have a little fucking talk, whatever. They call up the lawyer for Walmart and they have a fucking, they go back and forth, everything like that. Next thing they fucking turns around. He's like, you got the money for that? I'm like, yeah. He's like, give it to me. And I'm like, okay.
Here's a 20.
Yeah. And so I literally gave him a 20. He goes, give me another one. And I'm like, here. And he turns around, he slams it down on the fucking lawyer's desk, and he's like, get up. We're leaving. And we walk out. And I'm like, I don't. Is this okay? Like, I don't know what the fuck. What the fuck?
Are we allowed to do this?
You'd be surprised that diamond fucking carries some weight, dog.
And so essentially what happened, it was he talked to the judge, and he's like, look, he's just going to fucking pay it. And he's going to pay the bad fucking check fee. And we're going to fucking call it a day, and that's it.
Yeah.
And the judge is like, and they called the lawyer up, and the lawyer's like, well, and he's like, no, that's fucking it. This is a bad check for $19. You're not fucking my soldier's life because you want to prove a fucking point right now. Yeah. Like, sorry, here's the fucking money for it, and we're fucking leaving. And he turned around and told me to fucking give him the money, and then we fucking walked out. So
good fucking dude.
Yeah. Luckily, that's how it actually like worked on paper also. But when I went to get global entry, they do a background check.
Yep.
And you have to declare
admit it's
any time that you've had interactions, or pretty much anytime you've ever been fingerprinted. Well, when I filled out the actual form, I didn't fucking say it because I don't fucking remember. Like, it was 2002. It was for a fucking check for $19. Like, nothing happened of it, you know? Yeah. Like, I was never convicted or anything like that.
Must be nice.
But I had to, but I had to fucking declare it. So when I went in for my interview for it, the guy's like, have you ever been arrested? And I'm like, no. Weird question. I already answered no. And he's like, have you ever been fingerprinted? I was like, well, I don't think so. He's like, well, actually, you know what? I'm like, there's this one time I was at Fort Campbell because like it just jogged my memory. I'm like, I was at Fort Campbell. I think it was Montgomery County, Tennessee. It was for a bad check for like $19 to Walmart. I paid it, take care of, but yeah, they fingerprinted me then. He's like, I'm very glad you said that because if you didn't, I would have had to deny you for your global entry because you didn't admit to everything on the background check. You didn't openly tell me. He goes, now that you just said it, he goes, good to go. Here, come back next week, pick it up. And I'm like, thank fucking God.
Hey, dude, we got that saying in this country, the truth will set you free. Yeah. It's fucking real, man. Like, that shit's true.
Absolutely.
Own up to your shit, Biden. I'm just saying.
Shots fired. In the appropriate direction, I might add, sir. By the way, I want to point out that Scott shaved. So congrats, buddy.
Well, I was gone. Michelle was gone for a week. I was gone for a week, and God damn it, I had to shave, boys.
Yeah, you did. I definitely fucked around a bit, and I would have to answer some questions,
right?
Sure. Yeah. Well, plus, I was
really good at not getting caught.
Well, it's how many times have you been fingerprinted? It's like, well, fuck, dude. Every contract I had to go on, I had to
no, not that kind.
For
criminal.
That's fingerprinting for security clearance.
Yeah.
Right. You're not or printed for your job or for.
Well, so I got charged with a felony.
You're gonna have to declare that, sir.
But I got charged.
Doesn't matter.
I was never fingerprinted. I was never taken into custody. I was released on my own recognizance.
Wait, what?
So no shit there.
Okay. I was charged with a felony, but they didn't do anything. Dude. What the fuck?
God, this is a great fucking episode.
Yeah.
I was a door guy at a bar called it's not there anymore. It was called Yogi's out
in your
California.
hometown.
It was in San Diego, in North County, San Diego, in Cardiff by the Sea. I was the head door guy there, and I was getting ready to deploy to Okinawa like that Sunday, right? So like Thursday night, Friday night, I'm hanging out at the bar. I'd already fucking quit the job, so I wasn't working there. I was just hanging out, right? And I'm standing there, and I walk outside to have a cigarette, and I'm talking to the other door guys, and they're asking me questions because they're all still kind of new, and I was just their boss for the last fucking year or so. And when I come back, I'm gonna be their boss again. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm taking a sabbatical, if you will, from the job. Yeah. And I'm standing there, and there's this fucking drunk motherfucker that's in the bar, and he gets pulled out. And they pull him out, and they set him down, and he's sitting in a chair by me, and he's like, I'll fuck you up. And I was like, okay, bro. just keep your cool, dude. Have a seat, And this dude fucking jumps up at me to take a swing off of his chair. And I just step back and click and just fucking hit him once, drop him, and he falls down. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go inside. So I go inside, and I'm inside having a drink with the bartender, and bar's fucking packed.
Yeah.
And another door guy comes up, and he's like, hey, that dude was here with two other guys. One of them was an ex-NFL player. And I was like, okay. And he goes, they're looking for you right now. And the manager walks over. He's like, Mikey, can you just slip out the back, dude? We just to avoid the trouble. I'm like, I fucking guess. I was like, I don't want the drama. I was like, whatever. Yeah, sure. So I leave and I fucking, the valet pulls my car up and I fucking jump my truck and I roll, and I drive fucking home. I just go home, go sleep, no big deal.
Yeah.
2 days later, I deployed to Okinawa. About a month into my deployment, I get an email and it's from a sheriff's detective from San Diego Sheriff's Department.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, I'm just following up on an incident that was reported, happened over at Yogi's on this night. Can you tell me what happened? I said, sure. Tell her what happened. I was standing there having a cigarette. Dude jumped up at me, went to take a swing. I hit him back, knocked him out, walked away. She was like, and then you left the scene? I was like, yeah. The staff asked me to leave, so I left.
Doop, 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 knock on your door.
So she hits me back with an email. She's like, I'm sorry to inform you, but you are, there's a warrant being issued for your arrest in the state of California for assault with a deadly weapon and battery with intent to commit serious bodily harm. And I'm like, what? The fuck is going
Catch
on?
these hands, bitch.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, okay, what do I do? And she's like, I would call an attorney if I were you. She was very, very cool. The cop was very, very fucking cool. And I was like, okay. So I call my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, hey, I have a problem. And she's like, let me talk to my dad's like college roommate who's an attorney and like their best friend. He's like her dad's attorney, right? So he's like, all right, I'm gonna go to court for you. I get him on the phone. We're talking. He's like, I'm gonna go to court for you. He's like, don't even worry about it. It's all good. He's like, we'll get it pushed back. I'll let him know you're deployed and all this, and then you'll have to deal with it when you get back. Yeah. So okay. So the whole fucking 6-7 months I'm gone, I got this looming over me, and I got a court date set for like January when I get back. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? So sure shit, I get there and I get back from Okinawa, and I'm sitting at the courthouse in my, in my dress, or not my dress blues, but in my fucking, in my alphas, the green ones. And I'm standing there and fucking, it's one of those, how do you plead? Yeah. And he's like, not guilty. I was like, all right, so not guilty, and all this. And they're like, well, you showed up, and I understand you just got back. We're not going to fuck with you. We're going to release you on your own recognizance. It's all good. I was like, cool. So I'm standing in the hallway, and obviously a process server walks up to me and he's like, hey, Michael Fahey? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, sorry. And he hands me papers. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, you've been served. And he runs away. And my fucking lawyer's like, you're a piece of shit, like yelling at the guy. And I'm like, what just happened, man? He's like, you just got served. He goes, and I bet you it's a lawsuit. And I opened it up. Sure as fuck, I was getting sued by the guy who I punched. He was suing me. He was suing the bar. He was fucking trying to sue everybody. He was just trying to get money, right?
Typical Californian.
So I'm like, fuck this guy, right?
Should have hit him harder.
Dude, well, so let's just, he that one punch did some damage. He was all right.
I believe it.
So yeah.
Just saying, you got off pretty easy with me.
Yeah, right? Shit. So I go to court for it, and I ended up getting a defense attorney on top of it. And it was funny. It was this dude, this little Irish dude. He was like a defense attorney who literally, like, a lot of times his clients paid with cash in a shoebox type of guy, right? Oh. So like, this dude was like, he was used to this sort of shit. And he's sitting there, and first of all, the judge, retired Marine staff judge advocate, 30 years. The fucking prosecutor, former Marine, captain, fucking JAG officer, and me standing there in my blues. And like, they're like, so the witnesses are up getting called, and they're like calling people for the fucking prosecution. It's other door guys. And he's like, yeah, well, Mikey, and the judge is fucking correcting him. He's like, his name's Staff Sergeant Fahey. You will address him as his fucking rank and title. Like, the judge, this is a civilian court, dude. And I'm just like, yeah, bitch, call me Staff Sergeant. What's up? So he's sitting there, and he just like, and basically, and he was like, look, it sounds to me like this guy was drunk. This is the judge talking. He's like, sounds to me like this guy was drunk, picked a fight with the wrong guy. He didn't beat him into the ground. He hit him one time and walked away. Everybody agrees on that, correct? And everybody's like, yeah. He's like, and he looks at the prosecutor. He's like, would you say that self-defense is a total defense? And she's like, well, he goes, nope, answer my question. Is self-defense a total defense? Meanwhile, my lawyer's writing down. He's like, oh, shit, ... He's like, he's writing me notes. He's just like, he's going to fucking do it. Fucking dismissal, bro. And he's like, because it sounds to me like this is a clear, open and shut case of self-defense. So this is dismissed. And I was just like, what does that mean? He goes, it means nothing. He's like, it means it's not your problem.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. And then he goes, Staff Sergeant Fahey. He's like, real quick though. He goes, you need to be careful. He's like, the damage that you did, because I broke this dude's ocular socket and his eye socket, and like the dude's fucking eyesight was fucked up. This fucking bitch got on the stand and was like crying and shit. He's like, I've never been hit so hard in my life. I had to miss work. And blah, blah, blah,
You should have
blah.
just been like, fuck around and find out, bitch.
It's like, well, maybe you shouldn't be a drunken fucking piece of shit, dude. Like, eventually you're gonna meet the one guy who's gonna fucking swing back.
When you lead
You know?
off with "I've never been hit so hard," how many times do you get hit?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
like, fuck.
Like, why do you deserve this?
Yeah, like,
Common
it sounds to me like this is a
denominator is
common
you.
issue, dude. Yeah, like fuck you, bro. So, needless to say, I still had my other attorney, my original one for the civil case, right? And he was like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "Countersue, malicious prosecution." And so I countersued the guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I'll drop all of this lawsuits if you'll drop yours." And I was like, "Okay, deal." So he dropped all that shit, and I dropped mine. But the judge was like, "Here's the thing," he's like, "If you hit this dude one time, like you said, and did that damage, he's like, I'm gonna need you to go downstairs and file with the fucking clerk." And I was just like, "What does that mean?" And he's like, "You need to go fucking register your hands in the state of California because that's not fucking normal." And I was just like, "What the fuck?" I was like, it makes me sound badass. And I was like, this is fucking gay, man.
Yeah.
I was like, this is stupid as shit.
Wait,
So,
wait, that's like a real thing?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So fucking, I had to fucking legitimately like
It's just another.
fill out an affidavit that said like, I won't hit people because my hands inflict serious bodily harm.
Yeah, I'm just going
If
to use
that
elbows,
carried to
knees,
the
and
state of
feet.
Texas, we could have had another issue.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you fucking asshole.
Statute of limitation, bitch.
Didn't learn the first time, so you just wanted to practice on a smaller person?
First of all, I barely touched you, you fucking snowflake.
My heart literally chooses to disagree.
Oh,
Your chest is
cute.
paper thin.
I'm sorry. It's not an awe
As is
when you
everything
literally
else he
stopped
has.
my heart.
Well,
Whiny bitch.
I know.
What the fuck?
Justin, look at the bright side. If your heart ever stops, he can probably start it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hit him again.
No. Please don't do that. Please.
Fucking yeah. So I got off completely, but
Nice.
I never had to give my fingerprints for that
Oh.
That's good.
Maybe.
because I was released on recognizance.
Did you ever have to do a security clearance after that?
Yeah.
Did you declare it?
No,
Huh.
Then you're
no,
good.
didn't have
Yeah.
to because it was dismissed. It was like
Yeah.
it never happened.
Yeah. You should be
You're
good
good.
then.
I mean, should have had fucking 3 clearances.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
shit.
you should be good.
Yeah.
Should be. Don't. I'm not just fucking. I'm John. Don't take my word.
Yeah.
He almost
Heads up,
did
everybody listening out there and watching this. We are not fucking
But
attorneys.
John
We're-
said, "Sir, John,
John said it's good.
But Your Honor, the guys on the podcast clearly stated.
My background in criminal justice.
Yeah, that means fucking nothing. My buddies, like when I graduated with my degree in CJ, they were like, "Oh, so you're like a lawyer now?" I was like, "No."
I'm gonna give you the same advice I gave you in the barracks.
yeah, I can just make it sound cooler now.
Right?
That's about
I
the
use
size
big
of it.
words.
Yeah,
So can we talk
got some
about
thunder.
why we haven't been able to have Justin on, or talk about our production team, or is that in a future episode?
I don't really think that's necessary.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I still work that motherfucker. Redacted.
So you're
You picked
saying
the wrong fucking. God damn it. You're making more fucking work for me.
Yeah, you'd be right. Be right. I hear your new bosses are cool.
They're assholes.
so
One of them invited me over for a pool party today, so that was pretty fucking
it was
dope.
nice.
Yeah.
We grilled ribs and almost burned the house down.
Yeah, that was not dope.
So no shit, Scott.
So no shit. So no shit. You almost can't ever fuck anything up with the Traeger. Unless the last step is 450 degrees for 8 minutes. And you have a dirty Traeger.
Yeah.
Oh no!
And then there's a grease fire.
Because everything catches on fire.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. So everything, we got the ribs off. We got the fire extinguisher out in time. Everything was good.
God damn.
But it got smoky.
I'm so disappointed in
How'd the ribs
myself.
taste?
Good.
Oh, fucking delicious.
Yeah.
We went all out on the ribs.
Nice.
I was upset because so Haley and I had, we had guests all week we had our refugees
Yeah.
hanging out at the house.
Nice.
And they left yesterday finally. And,
Okay.
And like, I shouldn't say finally.
I was
They're
about to say.
absolutely welcome to stay as long as they needed to. I mean, he's my boy. his girl actually was in Austin with her parents, so he was mostly him for the remainder of the week.
Cool.
But it was like, you know how it is. I was telling him, I was like, yeah, we were gonna come by, but we've been entertaining for the last week.
Yeah,
it was
you need
like
a break.
I just want to fucking sit here and
Do not.
like Haley was like, I'm not fucking having it, man. I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, so I gotta work out in, but I was like,
Yeah.
some ribs would have been good.
Michelle
Yeah.
did the corn casserole too. So
Oh, see, I'd have been in on that.
So fucking good.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I finally got to experience it.
It's fucking life changing.
Yes,
that's good.
Yeah.
absolutely.
that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Dave,
Yo,
how about you over there?
Dave's just taking notes on everything.
It's like-
He's like, don't do
It's
this.
just like,
Don't do that.
not to do, Roger. That's
oh no, see, so I got most of my shenanigans out of the way before I turned 18.
see, me
So-
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my juvie record. Thank God that was sealed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, yeah. Yeah.
Si, senor.
Yeah, my time in county, Rollins State Penitentiary in Wyoming. Yeah, I was a shithead kid. I was a shithead kid.
Yeah. So, no shit, there I was sitting on the side of a boat. About
yeah.
5 miles offshore
Yeah,
this weekend.
You guys went fishing.
And our deckhand decided to try and hot gaff a lingfish that had been fighting for about 15 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
And
That lingfish said,
he hit the lingfish with the gaff, and the lingfish went, fuck you, dude, and took off with the gaff.
Yeah,
And the gaff was no longer seen. So that was great, but I was able to pull him back up towards the boat, and we went to hit him with a fucking aluminum bat.
we
I
had
don't know
no
if
other way to
anybody's-
get it in the boat.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't-
fuck that deckhand for one.
yeah.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh no.
now,
they-
in his
they-
defense, it is not something normal that he would do.
Then,
Yeah.
And,
and Cap,
like-
Cap told him to do it too. So
well, then maybe you overreacted with getting out the aluminum baseball bat. That's all I'm going to say.
no, it wasn't for the
No,
deckhand.
that was
It
for
was
the-
for the
that was
fish.
We were confused. over
Yeah,
here.
sorry.
I got to tell you, so like everybody here has probably played baseball at one point or another,
Sure.
and they've connected with a baseball bat with an aluminum bat on a ball, and you hear that ting.
Yeah.
That's what this fucking fish sounded like when he reeled up and just smacked this bitch.
And the fish was just like, bitch. Like literally, that was it. I was like,
He hit him like 4 fucking times.
he hit, and I was just like, oh my God. Like it literally sounded like you take a baseball bat and just bounce it off cement. Bing! I was like, I get it on video. I'm videoing him. I'm like holding on, hanging over video to get a good angle. And I like, ding. And I'm like, oh.
Nice.
God damn.
So
But-
I managed to pull this fucker. He dove after he got hit about 6 times. So he dove, pulled probably another 50 foot of line down. I pulled him back up to the side. This cocksucker got smacked again by the bat. And when he hit him with the bat that time, it knocked the fucking hook.
It's like the fish knew and like moved, and the bat hit the hook and popped,
and popped
the hook
fucking
out.
hook loose.
Damn.
Yep.
So you caught like the John Wick of fish.
Yeah.
Pretty much, dude. Seriously. Except this bitch is probably only be swimming left circles for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
It's the Rob of fish now.
It's gonna NASCAR. This motherfucker's gonna NASCAR for what remains of his life.
Yep.
You know, and so no, that was actually the second one we had on. The first one, snapped
one.
the line.
No, he literally just spit the hook out.
Yeah,
Like
Oh, yeah.
pressure, and all of a sudden the fucking thing goes flying. I was like, what in the fuck?
yeah.
And
So
everybody, the deckhand was just like, dude, you just literally spit that out.
I'm sitting here looking at the rod, and I'm going, huh, all right. And I get ready to move, and John's like, wait. And then he picks the hook off of my hat and throws it down in front of me.
Wow.
It's just
Damn,
spit.
dude.
And then we got
So,
the third one.
yeah.
The third one.
Well, at least you got that one though.
And then we
But
made
that-
fish tacos that night. Motherfuckers.
Dude, that second one was probably a foot longer than the third one we landed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave had a fucking monster he was fighting. Like fighting. Like
Yeah.
they got done after he fucking jumped out the hook, and I immediately ran to the fucking cooler. I grabbed a vitamin water, grabbed a regular water, and I'm like, Dave, have a seat right here. Here's this, here's that. What else do you need? Like, he's fucking just drenched in sweat.
Oh,
yeah. He checked his, what was your heartbeat on your watch?
The heartbeat on my watch 10 minutes after being done was 136 beats a minute.
Jesus Christ.
There was a fucking fighter, bro. Like it was, yeah.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
awesome.
good.
Yeah, that was fucking nuts.
I've yet to go deep sea fishing in my life.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to go. I need to do that.
Yep. We'll talk
I got
offline.
a lot of buddies who do it and stuff, and like have offered. I just haven't
We'll
done it.
talk
We got a
offline.
plan.
I got a lot of information, more information this weekend also. So
Yeah.
we'll
Nice.
talk offline.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So, update to the podcast. I think, boys, next week we're going to take next week off, not do a podcast
Okay.
because this one airs in a week.
Yeah.
The following week we're going to do the podcast, and then the next day it will be released. So we're not going to have the week lag anymore.
Oh, okay.
So our current events will be much more current.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it'll be much better for the listeners, better for current events.
Yeah. Hopefully, Jazz won't be dying at that point too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Jazz back.
Yeah.
so next week, well,
You guys won't.
This
You
week-
guys won't miss anything.
Yeah.
this
Th-
week,
this was for-
if you're listening right now, following this, there won't be a live.
So,
Yes.
by the way, I have to travel this weekend, this upcoming weekend. I hope I don't die because I have to fucking fly on 9/11.
Oh,
So,
Bro,
yeah.
You need to ask for has duty pay from your employer.
I literally was like, the lucky as fuck that the airline already upgraded me to first class because I was going to be like, I'm getting a first class fucking ticket. I'm sitting in the front, and they're not getting to the fucking cockpit if I'm on that plane, right? So I was like,
I'd have looked at my boss and been like, dude, you're having me fly on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Really?
yeah,
After the Taliban
See,
got all these fancy
Mikey,
new toys.
I know, right?
I understand the concept of what you're saying. But if you're flying first class, if I was flying first class, more than likely all they would have to do is walk right past me because I would be in some wonderful slumber
Or drunk.
Yeah.
or hammered.
yeah. I don't know.
Hammered, I'll put
Well,
up
good
more
luck,
of a
sir.
fight.
Thanks.
Either way, drunk or in a slumber.
If they don't raise a ruckus,
Worst things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there'd be a ruckus if that happened. But yeah, I got to go out and then I fly back that Monday, so I'll be back. I'll be back in time for the show. But
nice.
yeah,
Just
or
make
no,
sure
you saying there's no show?
There's no show next week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
That's for us, not for you guys. For all you listeners, there will be a show released.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
Yes.
we're just not. We're changing our recording tempo.
yeah. Fucking A. Well, shit, boys. I guess I'm gonna raise my glass and say thank you for being my freedom friends. What a wacky fucking episode, right?
This fucking just giving dirt on
Just
but all of
all
us.
kinds of shit.
I can already see the title. It's just going to be a bar full of criminals.
And one sober dude.
Allegedly,
Allegedly.
allegedly,
I have no criminal record.
No, me neither.
allegedly. Yeah, me neither. Shit.
This started back in the 1700s.
Yeah,
Try and call
before
that.
they had fucking.
Yeah, four dudes and a felon.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe, smash those buttons. Like I said at the top of the show, check out warfightertobacco.com. Use that code FreedomFriends. Get yourself that fucking sweet wiggled discount, that 50% discount over there. And owellness.us for all your CBD needs. They got the tinctures, they got the patches, they got that sweet roll on, which I have been bathing in the last couple
Right.
days.
We're gonna have to fucking throw that in the hat for the new code. It wiggled.
Make a wiggle.
Yeah, use Freedom Friends 25 over there. Get yourself a quarter off your order on them. Otherwise, it's tell your mom.
Tell your friends.
Tell your fucking mom's friend.
Goddamn right.
That there's a show with a bunch of mediocre assholes saying mediocre things about mediocre shit. So it's really just it's three little things that we like to fucking pass on. Scotty, why don't you hit him with the first one?
Smoke on.
Justin,
Drink on.
God damn it, boys! Freedom the fuck on. We'll see you guys next time.